So I'm going to quickly give you a recap of books 15 and 16 today. The Prince Sails for Home and Father and Son. So in book 15, The Prince Sails for Home, we have Athena going in search of Telemachus and warning him of the plan that the suitors have to intercept his ship and kill him. And so she sets him on a different path to ensure that he can arrive safely back in Ithaca. When he gets to Ithaca, she tells him to go directly to the swineherd so that he can have the swineherd then tell Penelope he's back, which will give him time, she knows, to meet his father, who's still disguised as the beggar. So she's setting up that opportunity for him to meet Odysseus, and knows that they can make a plan from there. So in book 16, Father and Son, Telemachus makes his way directly, as Athena told him to the swineherd's home. And unlike when Odysseus arrived, the dogs that are sort of guarding or living with the swineherd are very quiet. And even Odysseus notes that. He says, "Eumaeus, here comes a friend of yours, I'd say. Someone you know at least. The pack's not barking. Must be fawning around him. I can hear his footfall." And so the swineherd welcomes Telemachus like a son. He's obviously been there very many times before because the hounds recognize him and don't bark. And so there's that indication that the swineherd has been a little bit of a father figure. This gives Odysseus even more reason to trust the swineherd, that he's looked after Telemachus and treats him like a son. It also gives us an indication of Telemachus's character, that he treated the swineherd almost like a father figure and didn't look down on him at all. So that indicates some of Telemachus's character as well. So when Telemachus asks Eumaeus to go and tell Penelope, it's on page 342, he says, "Eumaeus, good old friend, go quickly to wise Penelope. Tell her I'm home from Pylos safe and sound. I'll stay on right here. But you come back, and as soon as you've told the news to her, no other Achaean must hear. All too many plot to take my life." So he wants her to just say that, they're plotting against him, and that she shouldn't let on that he's home. And so the swineherd makes his way down to the palace, and that leaves Athena to transform Odysseus back to himself. On page 344, Athena stroked him with her golden wand. First she made the cloak and shirt on his body fresh and clean, then made him taller, supple, young. His ruddy tan came back, the cut of his jawline firmed, and the dark beard clustered black around his chin. Her work complete, she went her way once more, and Odysseus returned to the lodge. His own son gazed at him, wonderstruck, terrified too, turning his eyes away suddenly. This must be some god, and he let fly with a burst of exclamation. So remember, the Greeks believed that the gods would come disguised as beggars. So of course, when this man comes back, larger than life, Telemachus assumes, oh my goodness, this is obviously a god in disguise, the way Athena has come in disguise as a beggar earlier in the poem. And that's why in Greek culture, as we know, the Greeks were so careful to treat strangers well, because they could be gods in disguise. And so he says, "Friend, you're a new man, not what I saw before. Your clothes, they've changed. Even your skin has changed. Surely you are some god who rules the vaulting skies. Oh, be kind, and we will give you offerings, gifts of hammered gold to warm your heart. Spare us, please, I beg you." And his father says, "No, I am not a god." The long-enduring great Odysseus returned. Again, that epithet that's so frequently used with Odysseus, the long-enduring great Odysseus. "Why confuse me with one who never dies? No, I am your father, the Odysseus you wept for all your days. You bore a world of pain, the cruel abuse of men." Telemachus can hardly believe this until Odysseus explains that it was Athena, indeed, who helped him and transformed him. So then Odysseus and Telemachus have a time to catch up, and Odysseus fills him in a little bit on what's been happening. Um, and then Odysseus says, they're going to go and kill these suitors, and Telemachus now is described as, on page 346, the clear-headed Telemachus. So he has come into his own. He has grown into the man that can help his father and help him in ways that Odysseus would not be able to know to do on his own. So Telemachus knows there's far too many suitors for the two of them to just overwhelm, and they have to come up with a different plan. And so the two of them work to come up with a plan and what they'll do. And meanwhile, back at the palace, Eumaeus has told Penelope that Telemachus has arrived home, and she is thrilled, but sees what's been going on with the suitors, and actually says to them, she confronts them, especially the most nasty of the suitors, Antinius, on page 351. You, Antinius, violent, vicious, scheming, you, they say, are the best man your age in Ithaca, best for eloquence and counsel, but you're nothing of the sort. Madman, why do you weave destruction for Telemachus? So she's, showing a little bit of spunk that we haven't seen before too, maybe knowing that her son is now home. And so at the end of the evening, the swineherd returns to Odysseus and Telemachus, and the two of them have been sort of reunited. But before the swineherd comes home, Athena changes Odysseus back into the beggar, so that still his identity is known only at this point to Telemachus. And in book 17, we'll see what happens with their plan. So stay tuned, and I'll come back with that.